Today is a prime example of an opportunity to learn from a lesson. Against Cincinnati, we overlooked them, and we let them hang around for far too long. Ultimately, with a strong second half, we ended up taking down the Bearcats 35-26. And after the bye, we now face the Kansas Jayhawks, who are less than a 70 overall. And one of the two primary reasons we should not overlook the Jayhawks starts at quarterback with Treston McMillan. He's a 91 overall. He's a really good quarterback on the run, and that comes with pretty good speed and elusiveness. And this year, he's willing the Jayhawks to wins they probably shouldn't have. Beating Virginia, beating Cincinnati. They should beat FCS East. They also took down Nevada. They played it close against TCU, though they did get smacked around by the Sun Devils. But it's not just up to McMillan. They also have an 88 overall redshirt senior running back in Dwayne Byron. He's not a speedster, but he is still elusive. He has some hands, he's got the power, he's a do-it-all-three down back. And he's running for 6 yards a pop. 4 touchdowns, he averages 90 yards a game with 8 20-plus yard runs. McMillan leads them in rushing touchdowns with 5, so he's another guy to keep an eye on. And they even get the ball to the redshirt freshman in Cam Wolf with 4 more rushing touchdowns. The big deficit for this team is they don't have the standout on defense. Their one player who barely counts as an 80 overall, as most of that is morale, is Josh Stewart. Everyone else is far lower, and even he isn't a prime-time player, but he's smart. And for Coach Ty, he has to play this game smart. Because not only do we have a game on the field, we've got a game on the sidelines with Jeremiah Trueblood, Darrell Morris, Brendan Chubb, and Conrad Hammer, all on visits. And with all on the defense, we'd love to see our 81 defense demolish the 69 defense of the Jayhawks and come away with not only a win, but some recruit commitments. So let's take the field in Kent, Ohio, and show all the recruits here in the nation why, if you're a defender, this is the place you want to be. Especially when you got Coach Ty at the helm as Grubb gets us underway, facing the Jayhawks here in the evening of Ohio, as that will be stopped short of the 20-yard line. A good start here for Coach Ty's special teams, which perhaps a fair few amount of those freshmen next year could be playing. But one thing to keep an eye on in this game is the management of these running backs. We'll see Jimmy Yazzie today, got a bit banged up in the last game. First play is underneath to the tight end, and it's the redshirt freshman Anthony Butts with the tackle. That just shows that we do play some young guys here on this team with a good run from Byron. That'll keep the Jayhawks in front of the chains here with a 3rd and 4. 2 spread either side. Jackson walks down to the line, leaving 1 high. Bringing that blitz, throws over the middle and caught. First down, breaking the tackle, goes the big receiver. That is Isaiah Wolf, the junior. And now they do have 4 deep receivers, all very similar, so we'll see a lot of rotation at that spot as Bobby Ellington etches ever closer to 50 total TFLs. He's coming off a great game in their previous matchup against Cincinnati. Loss of 3 on the play, it's 2nd and 13. And this time they do hand it off. Byron, he's going to lose a couple more. Robert Jones makes the play. Another loss of 3. It's 3rd and 16. A chance to get off the field here with a 4-man rush. They check to the flat and will get by Shabera at first. Not sure why he was out in coverage, but ultimately it's a punt. And for all the defensive recruits on visit today, they saw that defense make the early stop, leaving it up to the Kent State offense to start the day off hot here. Triple pitch is to Yazzie. He's got 4. Now, Coach Ty did talk a bit at the end of that last game as he pulled Yazzie as well as Cleveland, seeing some more playing time for the youngsters due to some injury. Kelsey on the keeper here. Good block downfield. He's by the linebacker. 20, 10, 1 to beat with a bad angle. Mason Kelsey takes it the distance. Second play on offense. They go triple option, weak side. Some timely key blocks. You have the defender on the outside, keep their eye on Yazzie. And that just left a lane here for Mason Kelsey to go about 60 some on yards untouched to the house. And that's a drive you expect to see from the number 4 team in the nation. This is the highest Kent State has ever been ranked. School history as McMillan misses. There was some press coverage on that play, and it does just enough to throw off the timing there. Big miss. McMillan hands this one off. Byron is met by Tim Snead. He'll set him up for Christic to come in and clean it up. Another loss in each one of those TFLs. That's going to help out the recruitment of these linebackers, the edge rushers, the DT. Wiles saves it. Byron taken down about a half-yard short, so back over then to Kent State. They start at the 39. Back to the triple option. And a great play from Fry, who gets in between. I think Kelsey thought he was stepping down towards him, and he went to his running back. Turned out it went to Kansas for the quick score the other way. We've seen a couple of these mental errors over their last few games that got Cincy into the game their previous matchup 2 weeks ago. Back over to the offense for them to try to clean it up. Great block there, Hassman, and Yazzie gets north. He's on the outside of the numbers, and I don't think anyone's gonna catch him. Jimmy Yazzie, one play answer. The 2 drives ending in points here for Kent State have been 2 or less plays. Perhaps that's something to know. I think for many of the Kent State faithful, that's a big sigh of relief. They're probably thinking, oh no, here we go again with the mental errors. Instead, you're up 14-7, back on defense. Blackwell with pressure, gets the hit in and the pass broken up. That is Jones. You really got to show love to Blackwell. He has stepped up massively in his senior campaign. He has been wrecking offenses. They go Byron here, and that's a good fill from Tim Snead. And again, with so many guys from the front 7 on visit this week, you got to love what your actual front 7 this season is doing out there, really showing that they could do it all as Christic gets the pick. Well, that'll help as Conrad Hammer is on the sideline. Here goes Christic for the end zone, though can't get by the guard coming over and shoving him out at the 2. Another interception for him. That's at least 6 in the career for the sophomore cornerback. And he's the exact kind of corner we're trying to get in Conrad Hammer. With a 1st and goal, bunch left-hand side. Throws right side, broken up to Katula. Coach Ty that time going with a pass down inside the 2 rather than a run that we normally see oh so much. Triple option pitch out here. That's Harbor for the touchdown. He's getting a little bit more playing time as he had essentially the game-winning play against Cincinnati. Untouched, about 65 yards. This time, he only had to go about 2 yards from the line of scrimmage. Morgan Harbor, another one of those flashbacks here for Kent State. Widens that lead up 2 scores. This is the outcome of when a team actually comes prepared, even against these smaller teams. We've yet to see Kent State completely blow out an opponent. As there's another good tackle from Butts. He could very well be seeing some playing time as a full-time starter next year. Tim Snead, the junior. You got Titus Wild, the senior. Though Snead arguably could make his way to the NFL. Very much a draftable player, as Blackwell reads that screen beautifully. And considering he's not much of a speedster out there, great versatility as he floats once again to the outside. The 3-man rush still gets pressure in. Weil breaks up the pass with his back. Tristan McMillan, he falls to 4 and 8 on the day, and it's back over to this Kent State offense with another short field. Pitches to the outside. Now that's to Cleveland. 3 different backs, all with a carry. There really was an emphasis for this team this year. We now see Harbor checking in. Cleveland is going to be the deep back. And it will be a keeper pitching again outside. Cleveland now on the outside. He's got 5 more. Really excellent rotation, but might need to get an update on Coach Ty. We haven't seen Yazzie out on that field much here of late. Keeping again and pitching backwards, this time to Harbor, though the safety's on it. Ezekiel Hamrick makes the play. It's going to be about a 4-yard loss that takes this game to the break. Kent State putting up 21 points there in the first quarter. The only points for the Kansas Jayhawks coming off of a pitch gone awry from Mason Kelsey intended for Yazzie, who we have not seen out on that field. about half the quarter. And that's something still we'll need to get an update on. Coach Ty neglected to mention anything there during the break. With 3rd and 9 as we open up the second. Mason Kelce will look to scramble downfield and diving forward. They mark him down at the 22-yard line with a first down for the Golden Flash. 3 hands down, they do go with some play action. Rolling out right. He's got a target down at the end zone, and Martin avoids the hit, reeling it in. 4 different running backs have made an appearance in this game. That's not even counting Mason Kelce as a runner. You could say 5 different running backs, all of which making big plays for this offense. I'm sure Coach Ty is over the sideline hoping that his offense continues that performance against Colorado, their next home game, as that's where they have a lot of offensive recruits. Simon slows them down. Byron, though, does a good job spinning off to pick up 2. He has not been able to get that 6 yards a pop as he's been used to. The linebackers are just swarming Tim Snead at the line of scrimmage, as it looks like they're going to go hurry up here for a 3rd and 8. 2 spread over to the right-hand side. They look to go with the pass. Left side and caught, first down. That was Max Pettis with the first down for the Jayhawks. Looked like the defense was back in zone. They don't run too much zone, about maybe 25% of the time. Man, though, leaves them open there. Shucking 1, only for Jackson to come clean it up. Christic beat in coverage there on the crossing route. He had the pick earlier, so can't harp on him too much. The play action here. McMillan. Well-handled rush, though Shabera shows up late. For some reason, Tim Snead pulled up. He thought that pass wasn't going to get there. Byron, he's down to the 22. The Jayhawks, they are threatening for the first time on offense today. Just outside the red zone. Quick pass to the outside. That's a pretty good RPO to get them set up for a red zone trip now. Bunch left with a 2nd and 5. Play action. You're going to hit the tight end. That's Pettis underneath. Taken down by Jones and Zyman. It's now goal to go here for McMillan and the Jayhawks. Doing 2 spread either side. Snead playing down by the line here. Play action. Rolling left-hand side. Tight coverage broken up. Normally don't call Zyman's name much for a coverage play. Normally just a really good tackler. That time gets the job done. As Jackson moves down to the line, that's a throwback to last year where he started. Seth Nilsson forces the throwaway. Good to see him making some plays. The DT in the base packages, him and Bobby Ellington. We just haven't seen as much from Nelson this year. Byron was open there. Now they just got 3 over to the right side, but not enough time. The sack comes in. Checking the roster, that is Dominique Wake, one of the depth edge rushers. No time like the present to see some big plays from some of these young guys checking in. This is a senior-heavy roster on defense. We'll see who can break out in the years to come. But the first points from an offensive drive hit here for the Jayhawks. They make it 28-10. And they finally got that rock moving, focusing on McMillan. So a big effect in this one. As they hand this off, that's to Cleveland. He's going to get stuffed down the middle. And now Kent State is going to look at going with some hurry up. 2 spread left-hand side. That's Mayo spread out wide. He's a running back. Get the halfback screen. That's to Cleveland. Let him get ahead of steam. Close and given the first down just at the line to gain. Now they will slow up a little bit here, checking the defense. Only 1 safety back deep. Play action. Set the feet. Throw downfield, but airmails Catula. Well, Mason Kelce this year has not had the most dialed-in accuracy. We have seen him overthrow a receiver or 2. Throwing underneath, that's going to be Smith. Good block there from Cleveland. Now get them back in line here with the chains for a 3rd and 3. Kelce checking the sideline as that clock rolls down. Clapping his hands, they do snap that ball. Cleveland through the nose tackle. He's got the first down with about 3 minutes to work with here in the half. And they will get back to it quickly. Coverage is sitting backed off here. Kelce with the call. The 42-yard line. They snap that ball. Pressure sent. Throwing outside. He's got Harry Hassman dropping it in, and Hassman will have the wheels to separate. A touchdown toss, and Harry Hassman racking up more yards, more touchdowns this year. He's really been a threat at that receiving spot, finally breaking out after the graduation of both Tank Hawkins and Ivan Carrion. He and Katula now the primary two options out there, featuring a little bit of Armin Hay, the deep threat. But it's a whole lot of Hassman Yak that polishes off that 80-yard drive, leaving it 35-10 here. Just inside 3 minutes to go inside the second quarter. Some pre-snap motion. They're tight end. They go play action, quick throw, and they've got Pettis first down to about the 28. And they've relied on McMillan. He has carried them. The run game has not done much. Trying to take apart this secondary. Byron, though, he gets by Bobby Ellington, a rarity for the big fella. He'll have a quick 2-minute break to sort out whatever reasons he couldn't make that tackle. Gain of 7 sets up 2nd and 3 inside that break. With a quick rush, no problem. They dump it out to the tight end, breaking a pair of tackles. Simon finally able to force him down as they will go back to the pass here. McMillan with time, though that does not stay. And unfortunately, Blackwell couldn't find the ball in the congestion. I'm sure I speak for everybody. We would love to see an interception from a big fella. 2nd and 10 at the midfield line. McMillan, he's under pressure. He bails backwards, and here comes the big fella, Bobby Ellington. What a season he has put together over the last just handful of games here. Now week 7, he is stacking it on. TFLs, sacks, he's showing why sometimes archetypes don't matter. He does it all. Another one for the 6'6", 343-pound senior. And if he continues this kind of work, I wouldn't be surprised if he finds his way into the NFL. 3rd and 21, it's a 4-man rush. Dumped to the flat and ripped out there by Jones. That'll be a punt. You've got 57 seconds on the clock. You're back at the 32. Can they drop the 40 bomb here in the first half? They start with 2 spread left side, a little bit of some play action. And under pressure, that ball comes out awkwardly. Looked like they might have been trying to set up a play there to Katula over the top. Just didn't quite pan out for him. More play action here. Setting up the play. And trying perhaps the one-on-one there, right side of the field. Deep ball's just not quite hitting here for the Kent State offense. It's not really their game, but sometimes you just got to trial something out. As Kelsey will look to attack the sticks here, he bounces outside and will skirt out of bounds with a shoulder. That's one way of getting the job done and stopping the clock as well with 41 to work with here. 2 spreads still. More play action. Throws inside. That's going to be Katula. Will break towards the center of the field. Another first down here for Kent State. As they do stick with that hurry up. Clock will start to roll as the chains are reset. Pressure down the middle, so rolling to the outside. And a lofted pass. That one, though, just played well. Kelsey trying to get that one just over the top of the defender, but drop back. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see from your cover man. Downfield, you got Smith looking to run under this one. It comes in a little low. That time you might have wanted a little bit more strength behind it. Kelsey not exactly dialing in some of these here passes. As he's got a running back underneath. That is Harbor tripping forward. No problem. He's got the first. The timeout called. There's still 2 more remaining there for Kent State. We got just inside the 30 there. 14 seconds to work with. Kelsey barking out some calls. He's got 4 receivers, 2 spread either side. Coverage sitting a bit off here. And just monitoring the field here. Kelsey now steps up, middle vacates. He's got the first and will slide down. Second timeout called here for Coach Ty. That is now with the offense just about at the 10. They mark him down with a slide just outside the 11-yard line. Bunch right-hand side. Good coverage that side. Trying to slip underneath. That is Harry Hassman. Somehow he got through 4 Jayhawk defenders. And that will be 40-plus points here for Kent State in the first half. With 4 seconds to spare, a timeout in the back pocket. They make it 42-10. And that sends Harry Hassman over 100 yards on the day and sends us to halftime. A dominant showing here from the number 4 team, and this is something we've been waiting for, expecting to happen. The big question is still around Jimmy Yazzie. Coach Ty is not announcing anything around his player, but he has been a phenomenal player who just seemingly hasn't been able to stay healthy, might be battling some lingering issues this season. The good news, plenty of other players stepping up, and as we get into the second half with the lead we see here for the Kent State offense, I would imagine we see some more rotation with that group. With how big this game is defensively, though, for Coach Ty, I don't know if he's going to see that rotation. He might want to keep the starters out. We've seen a lot of pressure from the edge rushers, though McMillan still finding ways to make some plays. A couple good drives there for the Jayhawks. They've got to put that all together. Make sure they keep Byron involved, as he was getting some passing looks. But as we look to get this game back in action, we're going to have to wait a little bit on that Jayhawk offense. It'll be, for the most part, second team offense heading out onto the field for Coach Ty. Looks like the offensive line is staying the same, as Fair taken down at the line. He's played in, honestly, quite a few of the games this season. We just haven't seen the same effect as we saw from him in the playoff game. Passing here, that's going to be Lupke for the first down. We also see Mayo in at running back. He's been one of the only running backs who hasn't seen much of any playing time, so we're going to see what he can do. Unable to get by the blitz. But all of this experience these young guys are getting, that is very much going to help Coach Ty in the future. And on top of that, for Kent State trying to get back to the playoffs, keeping these guys healthy. Though Harbor just sat there flat-footed. Warmack will get credit with the tackle, and this is what we've seen a lot here from this second-team offense. A lot of third and longs. They've not done great getting down the field, but not going to happen this time either. Now, it was a great job from Fair. He read the blitz. He threw the ball up the seam, a little wobbly, and it looked like Lake had it. In fact, he had it for almost the entire play until the very end. We'll scoot this back. We'll see as Warmack rips that ball away just as Lake is coming down, so that one definitely is incomplete. And as that punt is sent on over and the Jayhawks do take the field, it is as expected. The starting defense remains out on that field. With McMillan getting that screen off, this time Blackwell got spun around. They get it to Byron, and he's going to pick up a big play up the right sideline. Second half this year, statistically at least, the defense has not been as good. Granted, again, they haven't played in all of the second half of these games. Get it to the tight end on a screen pass. And whenever they've gone with those quick passes, the offense has moved the ball a lot more efficiently. Takes out the rush, though it looks like it's not actually the rush. Sharp moved early. Well, the Jayhawks back themselves up. They had a 2nd and 6 instead now. 2nd and 11. The 39-yard line. Trip set right side. McMillan throws open in the slot. It looked like there was some confusion in the man coverage there. Either that or there was a pick play because Earls was nowhere close to his man. Down inside the red zone here. 4-man rush. Passes over the middle. Broken up Jones. The senior is playing a little bit of outside and both inside slot corner here for this squad. He's had a lot more involvement in this game than any game so far. We're here for it. O-line giving their quarterback time, but that time will not remain. Shabera finally gets back there, beating the tackle, forcing a 3rd and 21, and I think McMillan just flopped there like this was the NBA. Well, that might work in some leagues. I don't know about college football. 3rd and 21. An empty set here for the Jayhawks. 3-man plus a blitz. McMillan, he's got time. He checks it down. Bad angle. Jayhawks convert. That is a massive play here for Kansas, keeping their drive alive, and for the defense, an absolute whiff. With a 1st and goal, they go with a run outside. Tim Snead tracks him down. Talk about a true sideline-to-sideline linebacker. He's been fantastic for this unit. Might be another one of the mini linebacker transfers who could be taking home some hardware. Though that time he does get beat. McMillan steps up, and over the top they find Pettis for the touchdown. And that'll just claw slightly into this deficit, make it 42-17 for Kansas. Question is, can this Kent State second-team offense move that ball at all? Good blocking on the left side. Fair only manages 2. He did also take a pretty big hit in the process. So they go tight to follow. And open, that's going to be the true freshman, Ezekiel Shelley. He was one of the top recruits for Coach Ty in their last offseason, securing him. Leaves though a 3rd and 1. Fair checks the sideline. Everyone down by the line. They snap that ball. Armin Hay, he's got some speed. And that one's on the money. Kevon Fair with the deep ball. The second team offense finally gets something on the board. It's with 3rd and 1. Kansas sold out for the run. And Armin Hay puts his speed on display for everyone here in Kent, Ohio to watch, just running by Mark Huck, the corner. That is the Kickoff fare we saw in that playoff game against TCU. Now, for Kansas, they need McMillan to be a similar type guy, make something happen, or give it to Byron, shaking through some tackles. Christic flying over, gets a hand to slow him down for Jackson to clean up. We talked about him not being a speedster, but he looked plenty fast on that play, which is why he's averaged, before this game, 6 yards a pop. Spinning off another tackle, he's finally getting going. That's something I don't think this defense wants to see. They got to get back to shutting him down. Bunch spread out to the left-hand side here, inside a minute to go. RPO is to the outside, but it is well played by Christic. He takes down Wolf, though it is a first down to the 27. Jayhawks with a far better second half look here from their offense. Play action, leaking out, but McMillan at the corner of his eye, he saw Blackwell. That pass goes off target. 2nd and 10. And Byron here, spinning off another hit. That'll be a gain of 5. This is what Kansas is used to. They need the balance of Byron. As they do not snap that ball, they go to the 4th. I'm not sure they could use with wasted plays. They could have snapped that ball, try to make something happen, save yourself some time if you're even going to try a comeback in this one. But we go to the 4th instead. It's a large lead for Kent State. They got their second team offense in the game, though it's the starting defense still out there as the 4th begins. The 3rd and 5. Kansas does rotate in. Lofted pass back corner for the touchdown. What is Earls doing? He's not been playing his best. Hasty with a play in the back corner, just wrapped up in a bow from the corner, who didn't even decide to swat that ball away, yet alone try to pick it. Hopefully for us, Conrad Hammer saw that, and he's going to bring some smarter play next season. The spread look here, the offense. They go deep downfield, but now it's going to be Kickoff Fair with 2 blocks from Martin. Round of applause for him. Not often at all you see a running back putting in the work blocking like that. That is required, though, in this offense. As there's a massive block, I think that was Talib. Unfortunately, I think the running back was just as surprised of that block as we were, so not much really happened with it. The 2nd and 7, looking like they're changing things up here. Triple option, Fair pitches it back. That's going to be Harbor, and he will maybe get back to the line. So the play call change there, not exactly panning out. Cleveland back in the game here. He dots the goal line look. The 3rd and 7. But they do look to go with some play action. They got a target open. Catching that one is Lupke. You could call that a secure grab, to say the least. First down here for Kent State. About 6 minutes to play. That one should have been handoff down the middle. Instead, it's to Mayo. Outside, he puts on the spin and has 9. Now, he is a junior back, so we'll see if he could find himself a little bit more playing time, especially with Jimmy Yazzie apparently being a bit shaken up. Fair here, pitches again. That's going to be Mayo up the sideline and dipping out of bounds. Good news for us. The refs have this clock on rolling. Inside the 25. They do snap that ball. Fair again, pitches out. That's Mayo. But he's got nowhere to go, losing 3. Kansas with a great job there, just sitting home, letting these young guys try to beat them. And an offense that you do need to be quite a bit smart, and Fair gets rid of that one, falling incomplete. And just as we typically see with this young group, they've got themselves with a 3rd and long. They need 13. To spread either side. Hassman has rejoined the game left side. Rolling to the right side, though. That one is caught, though, Lake. But he is going to be well short of the line to gain. They bring out Uwe Zuoke. He's missed quite a few kicks of late. And he just missed another one. The accuracy's just been off. The power hasn't been a problem for him. His accuracy has just massively dipped after the first few weeks of the season. Unfortunately for Kent State, there is no second kicker on a roster unless they want to try out Grubb, the punter. Kansas will get the ball here as their quarterback just gets by the edge man and throws a well-placed ball. Isaiah Wolf still in the game, and number 5, that is Champion. One heck of a name for a quarterback. First and 10 for Kansas at the 40. Four-man rush, Blackwell with a good pressure. However, again, that passes out, and Patrick Chateau is just refusing to go down. One heck of a play from the tight end, too, of the Jayhawks. That might get him in the transfer portal. Put that one on tape. Quick throw here is going to be another hitter. Earl's beat. I feel like we're saying that all too often in this game, as some of the starters are still out there for the Jayhawks, so they might just be trying out something new here. Quick pass, wide open, man coverage beat, as Tam will finally get forced out about the 7. The defense definitely not playing their best here late. Wolf on the carry, he's got maybe 1 or 2. That is the freshman back for them, who has racked up quite a few amount of touchdowns this year. They go back to their 2 spread look down inside the 5. Champion looking to throw to the right-hand side. He's got options. Plenty of time to throw this one. That time Earl shows up. The senior tips it away and forces a 3rd and goal. At the 4-yard line, they go back to the pass. This time looking for something over the middle here. Champion rolls into Titus Wiley, though somehow he still gets rid of it. Forgo bringing out the kicker here. It's late in this game. You're going to lose it at this point. Might as well just try for the points. Champion still out there facing the pressure. And that is where we will call it. We wanted this defense to come out here and show up. The first half, they played great. Overall, they played very well. We got our second team offensively onto the field. Now we just got to hope that some of these recruits commit. But not a single one would. I'm a bit surprised by that. I thought we would have gotten at least one of these guys to end up committing. So we're going to get down here to the defense and take a look, see what's happening. Well, we are in a troublesome spot. We had a massive recruiting week. We actually have a little bit of a gap there on Baylor. But Jeremiah Trueblood does not commit, and now he goes on a visit to Baylor. I'm not too sure we're going to be winning this one. We might have to find ourselves another edge rusher. We have one lined up for a Week 10 visit. It is a tight race for Ben Hardrick. And in fact, we're just going to go ahead and try to help ourselves out a little bit here by taking off that 5. We're going to slap on the 10 because now we need to go full send at least for Hardrick. As for Darrell Morris, we were very close to getting that commit, but he was a little bit hesitant. I think next week he should make his decision. On top of that, we are also going after Cedric Riggins a bit more. Does look like OU is getting into this mix. We are inside the top 5 here. And frankly, there are just so many options that could be what he's looking for. So I think instead of going with a hard sell here, we're going to try a tactic of going with 2 soft sells this week, just to try to help us out, because there are a couple good options for us. The second option is going to be for aspirational goals. I'm really hoping one of these 2 is what he's looking for, because the other option is not as good as these ones. We did have Brendan Chubb on a visit this week. He's another one that did not commit. The visit did go very well for him, so we just did not quite do enough. We'll try to finish things off next week by adding on that 10. And for Conrad Hammer, he saw how the DBs were looking out there, and he just said, you know what? I'm going to go to West Virginia. And that's pretty timely, because we have West Virginia up next. They were the one team to beat us in the regular season last year. We want revenge. This time, we go to their house. And this time, on paper at least, this is looking like a much closer game. And I expect us to come out like we did in the first half of this game, get after Coy Fagan, and defense and offensively execute. Hopefully without any of those mental errors. As it stands, we are the number 4 team, and they're the number 21 team. I don't want to see us drop. Make sure you're here for that game by hitting the bear icon in the bottom right corner or scrolling down and hitting the sub button so you don't miss out. And missing out is exactly what we've been seeing here from Jimmy Yazzie, and it's a situation in which I don't know why. This has happened the past couple games. He hasn't had any risk of injury. He hasn't gotten injured. And I also haven't really adjusted anything when it comes to the auto subs for the running back. So I don't know if this is a situation in which perhaps Jimmy Yazzie is potentially considering a transfer, so he's not giving full effort in these games, or what's happening. Perhaps he feels like he's too good for some of the games we've played of late. Hopefully against the Mountaineers, he shows up. Make sure you do by hitting that bell icon down below so you're notified of when this next video goes live in the series, as it will not be on Wednesdays. Starting this week, we're going to shake things up a bit. On Monday and Thursday, we're going to be here with Coach Time. On Tuesdays and Fridays, we're going to be with Coach Barrington and the New York Giants. Wednesdays are now going to be a day in the week where we're going to do football content adjacent to college football and Madden, but diving perhaps a little bit more into some nerdier aspects of it. This first week, we are going to do a archetype recruiting video based off of the 4-3. If you guys enjoy that, we'll do a series of those. We'll do a series with the offensive schemes as well, and perhaps we might even do some streams, maybe some other series, a road to glory. You let me know everything you would like to see for those Wednesday random college football Madden videos in the comments below. And if you like that idea, make sure you let me know by liking this video, as we have the Mountaineers up next. A top 25 battle and a chance at some revenge for last season's overtime loss.